I'm alright. Heyo! It's your boy Z-Dog-MD. Check it out. We are live and direct out of Z Studios. We're back from Houston. We just got off the plane, jetted over to the Z Cave, and we're coming at you. We want to talk about some stuff with y'all, though. We want to get intimate and real because the future of the show and the very voice of Health 3.0 is on the line. I'm trying to generate drama, but it's not working. So I want to ask y'all a question before we get into our topic today, which is the current American Medical Association a useful, deliberative, and advocacy body? Or is it our grandfather's American Medical Association, which was stodgy as fudge? But before we get into that, we have a question for y'all. We have a dope new website splash page for Incident Report. And we own 3 domains. 3 domains, people. And we need to know from you which domain is the dopest. Mirror, mirror on the Facebook Live, which domain name will make us thrive? And I want you to hit the corresponding like emoji when you resonate with a particular one. Now let us read some of these to y'all. The first one is incidentreport.live. The second one, incidentreport.co. Yes, there's no M on it because the .com is taken by some punk. Or incidentreport.live.com. Make your selection now. I'm seeing a lot of angry faces. I'm seeing some wow faces.
Those angry faces are votes for incidentreport.live.com.
That's right.
I personally like incidentreport.live because I'm not an old person. I don't need a .com on that and everything.
There's hella angry faces. There's a few just random likes because someone didn't get the memo. Like this. Okay, this is not one of the choices. Now we've got some wows and a couple of smiley happy faces, which again, someone didn't get the memo. Okay, keep voting, guys, keep voting, because at the end of this, I'm gonna look at the number of angry emojis, the number of sad emojis, and the number of I just stepped on attack emojis, and we're gonna make a decision on what is the main page that takes you to Incident Report. Now, I'm gonna end up using all 3, so if you go to any of these, it's gonna redirect you to the correct page. However, we need to optimize one for search engine because we want
to. I'm seeing a lot of .lives coming through. You're the real boys out there. You're the real boys and girls. Everybody else is fake. .live for life, son.
You shut your elephant biasing pie hole, Tom Heineber. You stop telling people what you think. I haven't said which one I like. I don't want to bias the crowd. You're like the worst scientist ever. You, Dr. Venkman, are a poor scientist.
Listen, these are totally unbiased results, but anybody that doesn't go for .live is a traitor against the movement.
And a communist.
Yep.
Right, Z?
Right, Logan.
Well, that's settled.
We've settled that. You're a communist, a traitor against the movement if you don't go for .live, according to Tom Heineber. According to me, we just want to know what y'all think. So
Andrew says, how about fdroz.com?
We thought about that.
Just fdroz.
That was on our list. Literally, we were at GoDaddy going, F Dr. Oz. Hey, it's only $2.99, dude. We could totally own that. And like, well, it's a little bit, it's not a good vibe for the movement if it's based on negativity. Like, that was my thing. And Tom Heineber was like, you shut your rational pie hole, Z-Dog-MD. Quit talking out of your meat pipe.
So Z,
I don't even know what that is.
Tell me about the American Medical Association and what they were, what they are, and where they're going.
Yeah, so
because I don't know anything about it, really.
Yeah, I want to have a heart-to-heart with y'all. Oh, what's that?
DrOz.com, it's available.
It's $12, guys.
It's only $11.99. Logan, buy it right now, please.
No, do not buy it. Do not use my credit card to buy that.
fdroz.live.
That's also fdroz.live. I kind of like that.
Charge it to Z.
I'll tell you, Z-Pack. Someone buy that domain and then sell it back to us for like a 12x multiple, because that would be the smart business move.
Quick, buy it quick, Logan.
All right, so let's have an honest discussion here, and we'll keep these logos. Keep the logos up. Keep the logos up, because I want people to keep voting. And I'll keep reminding people, you click on the emoji of your choice for the web domain you want us to host Incident Report Live on. Emily Knoll, meat pipe, wrong word choice. I might have made the wrong word choice there. It might have been some kind of unconscious Freudian thing. All right, listen to me carefully, people. We are at a juncture now at Incident Report and in the Health 3.0 movement where we really are gaining so much momentum and steam because of you guys, because of your voice and the fact that you join us every day and you share and you hit like, which you're going to do right now because I'm going to hypnotize you into doing that. And because of that, we're now looking to partner with really influential organizations and companies.
Tom's cheating.
What is Tom doing? Is he?
It's all those are Tom. Stop cheating, Tom.
Please. Come on, please be a good boy.
I wasn't even doing
Be a
it.
good boy.
I wasn't even doing it.
Did Daddy bring you candy? Daddy brought you candy, didn't he? On the plane, you got to have candy. So now you should be a good boy, okay? Anyways, like I was saying, the transition in the movement now to one of collaboration with others who are trying to forge 3.0 as much as we can is very important to us. And the question is who to work with. Now, we have been talking with the American Medical Association. I know. It sounds cray-cray, doesn't it? Because for many people, myself included, the AMA was a symbol of the old way of thinking of a stodgy recalcitrance to change, of a 1.0 at best kind of mindset, where it was a sort of entrenched sort of organization that was trying to protect old school physician rights at the expense of maybe others on the team in healthcare. Maybe they were responsible for the general collusion with insurance companies that has led us down the path to ruin over the years. Maybe they were a stodgy, mostly white male organization that reflected actually the demographics of medicine itself for many years. And as a result, I think over the years, their membership has been declining. It used to be like a good 75% of US physicians were members of the American Medical Association. And now we see that down to 30%, I believe is the statistic. Now, it's interesting because I've had conversations with high-level folks in AMA, and they are fans of what we do, but also they have been changing quite a bit. And more they're advocates for what we can do for patients and for each other. From what I can tell from talking to their leadership and their teams, their sort of marketing efforts are very different. They're a little softer around the edges. They're a little more inclusive. And I think they are very interested in things like caregiver burnout and workplace violence. And those are topics and interests that are near and dear to us, CPAC. So the question that I have is, if the American Medical Association is changing and evolving and becoming a little more 3.0, do we help them to do that by partnering with them, say for a series of shows, like a week worth of shows, where they co-sponsor the show and we talk about workplace violence, we talk about the Affordable Care Act and the Better Care Reconciliation Act, we talk about health policy and health reform and building 3.0, and we talk about controversial topics where the AMA has taken a stance, like the scope of practice for nurse practitioners, how should doctors get paid in general, the role of direct primary care and sort of out-of-the-box ideas in healthcare. And these are not cut and dry topics. So could we get folks from AMA and sit them down on the show now that we have a set that we're almost done building and have this discussion and get the voices of nurses and pharmacists and speech therapists and respiratory therapists and housekeepers and activist patients all together with AMA reps and have this out? What do you guys think? Let's read some comments.
Sue O'Donnell says, yes, partner with them and let's see how they handle it. Let's see.
I'll tell you I won't tell you my bias just yet.
James Neal says, with your bullet points and
not theirs, James Neal. So that would be a deal. It's our show, right? So if we want to work with the American Medical Association, then we're going to control the conversation. But the truth is, we want it to be an authentic, open conversation that isn't guided by politics or guided by dogma. We want to say, how is it that a large organization like AMA can advocate for all of us in healthcare? Doctors are their mission, residents, medical students, pre-meds, that's their mission. But they understand that they affect everybody in medicine, including patients and policymakers, and they have a big voice. So should we be using that voice to help build 3.0? Because we cannot do it all alone in a vacuum. We have to get people involved who have been doing this for a long time. Now the question is that going to hurt our movement, Tom Heineber? So working with a big organization like that going to hurt us? I'm going to say hell no, because we are us people. Like the minute we're inauthentic to who we are, we're done. So you guys will know before we know. Actually, no, I think we'll all know when we're done, because we'll give up our true grassroots values of trying to fix healthcare together, right?
Angela says, as long as your opinions aren't for sale, partner away. And I got to tell you guys, Z's opinions are definitely not for sale. But mine are. So hit me up, Tom Heineber on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can find me, really.
I'm a little offended, Tom, that you said my opinions aren't for sale, because they most certainly are for sale. Dr. Oz, if you'd like me to stop bashing on you on my show, it will be a very simple transaction. $1 billion in unmarked Bitcoins delivered directly to my Bitcoin wallet, and ZDoggMD suddenly loves Dr. Oz.
Oh, Alyssa says, I own it. F Dr. Oz is mine now. Damn it, Alyssa! How'd you do this to us? I thought we were cool, girl.
That was awesome, man. I hope you do something good with that. You should redirect it to like a gay porn site or something. You could porn roll Dr. Oz.
Done, actually, because gay porn is a lot more entertaining and positive than his show.
Meatspin.com.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna. Okay, so let's see. If they couldn't control you, they wouldn't want to get involved. You'd be a puppet with the AMA up your arse. Paul Moutre. Ooh, Paul. Okay, let's talk about this, because I've had calls with the AMA. And there is.
Oh, and by the way, when we talked to the AMA on the phone, everybody we talked to was a very nice woman. So the rich white male thing, I didn't get at all.
Yeah. No, things are changing, guys. They are changing. So here's the thing. They really do want to have an authentic voice. They can't control what we say. And honestly, I mean, there are positions that AMA takes that I may disagree with, and there are positions I take that I'm sure AMA disagrees with. So wouldn't it be amazing if we actually had them on the show as a co-sponsor for a week, and we talked about those disagreements in a civil way? Like, that would set a tone for discourse and conversation. That's how I feel about it. So the reason I'm even talking to you guys about it is that I care about getting your voice as part of this dialogue. So if we make the decision to work with them on a few episodes or more than that, or let's say we work with them to co-sponsor a music video about violence against healthcare workers and Silent No More and that sort of thing, right? Which, by the way, apparently the hashtag Silent No More is an anti-abortion thing, which I didn't know.
It's fine with me.
It's fine with Logan. Probably less fine with me, but I'd say this: I'm taking it back. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it for violence against healthcare workers, because we can't be silent anymore about it, and that's the biggest thing about that. So if we can work with AMA to do that, I think we do a lot of good, right? Because they have resources, we have a voice, and we have you guys. And everybody wants a piece of you guys, but the truth is they can't have you unless they're gonna come here and have an authentic discussion, and then we all come away better for it, right? That's my take on it. But what do I know? I'm just, a bald man with a very small platform. Silent No Mo, says Kristen Sater. So just make it M-O-E, and suddenly that's not a terrible idea. Silent No Mo. Just M-O with an apostrophe at the end, which you can't do in a hashtag, right? By the way, if you guys are wondering what these sub-captions are here, you are voting for the website domain we're going to use for incident reports. So click the emoji multiple times that correlates with the one that you want to win.
Jeremy says, the thing is that all specialties need to have a seat at the table at the AMA, and relinquishing control even a bit has been tough for organizations like that to do. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They have no choice, because their membership dwindles unless they are more inclusive, unless they are a platform that is not exclusionary, and unless they work in a transpartisan way across political boundaries and across medical specialties. So they really do have to work with other organizations like ANA and the other big organizations, and with each of us, to try to build a better healthcare system. Because now we clinicians, right, we people who actually take care of patients, are the ones who can fix healthcare. It's not going to be bureaucrats, it's not going to be government people, it's not going to be businesses. It's going to be us leading the way with their partnership. So they have no choice, and I think they recognize that. And really, I wouldn't even be talking to you guys about it if I wasn't pretty convinced from talking to them that this is a partnership that's worth doing, right? But I want to get your input, and I think they would like to know. So the American Medical Association would like to know what you think of this plan, because they actually respect you as a group of healthcare people, like all of you across the disciplines. So let's hear what you have to say. You're still going to do the live cast, right? Chris Willoughby. Chris, who do you think we are that we would just sell out and stop doing now? Of course, this is part of the show. I'm saying part of the show. Like, we may have a week that's sponsored by AMA where we bring in some of their guests and we interview them and we have the tough conversations, right, that you're not going to see anywhere else. That's how we do it, right? Let's see. You have Tribe Talk and Against Medical Advice. So does the website name need to reflect this? Well, Carrie, Against Medical Advice, AMA, there's a lot of conflict there because there is the American Medical Association. It's a big, long name. What we do is we folded it all in under Incident Report because we think Incident Report's a lot easier to remember, it's snappier, and you have the weekend AMAs, you have the Tribe Talk as part of Incident Report, and we'll probably go with that. But if we're wrong, let me know. Maybe you guys want a different name.
Stephanie O'Donnell says, well, where has Tribe Talk been then, misters? Stephanie's missing those curse words in her life.
Yeah, you know,
It's the F's.
we've kind of folded, we do it still, but we've kind of folded a little bit of into our main Incident Report now. So we're just a little more uncensored. But what we will do is when we find every time we find a topic that we think would benefit from a Tribe Talk, we're going to dig into that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to curse a little bit less just because sometimes it's just purely accessory words for me.
Totally. And to make up for that, I'm going to curse
Tom's
going to
curse
more.
4x harder. So we've already made this decision on the plane. We were talking shop, and I'm like, I'm going to curse less. You're going to curse more. Is that okay with you? Oh, that's okay with you? All right, let's do this. So stay tuned for the dopest Tribe Talks ever. Z, you look tired, Marcela Camacho. I'm very tired. We went to bed late last night. I performed in front of 6,000 athletic trainers at the National Athletic Trainer Association in Houston, and that takes a little out of you. Do that for an hour, and you just feel the energy of the crowd. And there was this crazy. Do you remember when I got a standing ovation, which surprised me because the audience was 6,000 people. We were talking about Health 3.0. I was fired up. I was getting emotional during the talk, and I couldn't hear the audience's response because of the acoustics of the venue. It was the George Brown Convention Center in downtown Houston. I couldn't hear whether they were laughing or screaming or yelling. And so I felt very disconnected from their response. So I got into a flow state and I did my performance. When it ended, they stood up and were hooting and giving me a standing ovation. And I was shocked. Like I was telling Tom afterwards, like I had no idea they were even engaged in the talk, which was crazy. But it tells me something. These guys are on the front lines. They've been doing 3.0 type medicine forever because it's prevention focused, it's team based, they're underpaid and undervalued, and they do amazing things at every level from elementary school athletics all the way up to Cirque du Soleil and NFL. And they do it for the love of it because they don't get paid that much. And they are so fired up about 3.0. It was amazing. I've gotten so many messages from people at the conference. So that energy goes out, then you get a crappy flight back with really bad snacks, and you sit next to someone with mild to moderate dementia. And I'm not talking about Tom this time because we got separated. Tom had to sit next to like a 10-year-old boy who was flying alone.
Yeah, this kid was like 8 and he was in first class with me. I made Z sit back and coach.
Mm-hmm. We got upgraded, son.
Joel says, guys, my sister's having her first baby tomorrow and we love your show. Can you give her a shout out, please? Her name is Jeanette. #Baby Martinez. Shout it out, Z.
I'm not going to be bossed around on my own show. Okay?
Z, it's the babies.
This is about Jeanette and Baby Martinez.
Do it for the babies.
You know, I will not shout out a Jeanette or a Baby Martinez. I will not wish them the happiest, most amazing life ever. I will not say thank you for being a Z-Packer. And I will certainly not say how dare you, because I would never shout out Baby Martinez and Jeanette because they are amazing. And
well, he's just not going to do it, people.
I'm not doing
it.
it.
I can't get him to do it. Hey, Ahmed has a really good comment that says, mobilizing clinicians from all walks and bringing awareness to these most pressing issues is more important now than ever. Thank you for taking the initiative and holding our organizations accountable.
That's what we're trying to do. So guys, if we have a seat at the AMA's table.
And then Rick wants to know, am I wrong in seeing the AMA as way too paternalistic?
No, you're not, Rick, because that's how they used to be. That's why we're like, is this our grandfather's AMA? They were hyper paternalistic. But what I'm seeing now is a bit of a sea change in their messaging, behavior, et cetera. And whether this is good or bad, we wait to see, but it's promising that they're behaving in a more, at least 1.5 way, right? And so if we have a seat at their table and they have a seat at ours, I don't see bad things. Now look at Paul Matre, though. He has a good point. AMA equals the establishment. Keep your indie freedom and coolness. Get some rich VC sponsor outside of medicine and maintain your authentic voice. Well, it's not so much that, Paul, that we need their money. It's that they want to partner with us so that they can have a seat at our table. And again, we can have a seat at theirs. The sponsorship would allow them to do that so they would have some guests and we would have the conversation. To me, it is an ability for us then to actually have the conversation we want to have anyways. And that money that we get from them means we run the studio, we can fly in other guests that don't have that money, that sort of thing. So for us, it's cool. We don't want venture capitalist investors. We really don't, because we want to own the show ourselves. We never want to be beholden to anybody. And I will tell you already, I think we've lost some sponsors just by being as edgy as we are, and I don't give an F. If I have to fund this thing myself for the rest of my life by, seeing patients and doing all of that and selling myself on the black market, I will do it because this is a voice that we need to have, and it's your voice. So I promise you we won't lose that. And the minute we do, you guys have a BS meter that's higher than it, is more acute than anybody's. You will walk and we'll be done.
Julie Newman said there's been a huge sea change at the AMA. Seriously, I've watched over the past few years. As an outsider, this was kind of my interpretation from having the phone call with them. They seemed really earnest and eager to change medicine. The women that we were talking to in the marketing department, they knew that they had been saddled with the sins of the past, and they were eager to overcome those.
And I think related to that, Cindy Bernard says, I think your elephant really wants to get the AMA involved. Go for it. It's funny, Cindy, you kind of read me pretty good. After talking to them, and actually one of them came out a year back and interviewed me at Turntable for a piece they did on AMA. And this was Dr. Mike Rackotz, and he's their head of chronic diseases and stuff. And I was so blown away by this guy's sincerity and passion to build 3.0 and his interest in preventing disease and hypertension in particular, which I thought was amazing, that it did bias my elephant towards the AMA in a way that previously I'd been biased against it because I figured they were this hyper-paternalistic, stodgy, recalcitrant 1.0 organization. So my elephant says, let's give them a chance. And you know what? By doing that, we might influence them because their constituency is us. It's physicians on the front lines, it's medical students, residents, and we can influence them because they're supposed to be our organization. And they're supposed to work in our interests, right? So that's my elephant. You're right, Cindy. Should I tell you what my elephant thinks about the different website addresses?
Hit me.
All right. I would probably give the emoji because my elephant really likes the feel of incidentreport.live. But I may be wrong.
That's good.
That's right. That's the best one.
I may be wrong.
Wise pick. You have chosen wisely.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and 3, The Last Crusade. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. You have chosen wisely. How does 3.0 foresee the new healthcare bill? I'm nervous about financially bankrupt systems without Medicare dollars. I think maybe you mean Medicaid dollars, Amanda Lindstrom. P.S. The sky's the limit, follow your dreams. I love that. The sky's your limit, follow your dreams. Look, I think 3.0 says both bills are stupid. None of this is going to fix healthcare. It's going to be a groundswell grassroots effort to fix the care model. And here, very important, very, very important. Listen to me carefully, Z-Pack. Listen to me. If there's one thing you remember from this, remember this. If we don't start actually reimbursing people for outcomes that mean something, we are wasting our time with any healthcare reform, with any insurance reform, with anything we do. And by that I mean a lot of the outcomes we are reimbursing for now are surrogate endpoints that actually don't necessarily correlate to real meaningful outcomes for patients, meaning they lead a better life concordant with their values. Now, to measure those outcomes is going to take a lot of work and a rethinking of how we do that. And until we do that, We're never going to have a 3.0 reimbursement system that pays us to actually generate real value. We will just have mother flippin' bean counters who rearrange deck chairs on the Titanic, and that includes the dip-ishes in Congress. Notice I'm trying not to curse. Who are just basically moving numbers around and calling it the Republican bill, or moving numbers around calling it the Democratic bill. It's all bull crappy until we get that piece right, and it's got to be us that does it, guys. So we're going to keep talking about this, and if we have to get AMA to partner with us to do that and get their perspective, man, they are in the trenches, so they know stuff about this. So let them come and educate us, and we'll educate them. And then I'm going to get my friend James McCormick, who is a pharmacy professor in Vancouver. I would love to fly him in and talk about outcomes that matter, because he has spent his career studying how we waste money giving medications for things, for surrogate endpoints that don't matter.
See, Alex wants to know, let's say if I was a dermatologist, would 3.0 still allow me to get a new BMW annually?
You get 2 or 3 BMWs. See, that's what a politician would say. Now, you
just gotta
see,
lease it, because that's a great financial decision, okay?
as a dermatologist, if you create value, if you're practicing at the top of your license, if you're doing a service, and there's fewer of you, because we wouldn't need as many, because primary care docs would be empowered to do more of what they now refer for. So you guys would get to do that high-level, intuitive specialty medicine that you love. If that happens, you're going to get reimbursed concordant with the value you generate, right? And we'd be able to actually measure that in a meaningful way. It's tricky, and there's no magic answer, but yes, you may have a BMW, but
Alex
you
says,
may have to
"Woohoo."
take out loans. Yes.
Susan Robinson says the AMA is against the new healthcare bill. Yeah, but so are we, Susan, and we're against both healthcare bills,
Yeah.
the ACA and the AHA.
we concur.
And
with
I want to
this.
make Z do a song to the tune of "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" that goes like this: Do you want to reform healthcare? We can sign a bunch of laws. We can make the 1% pay for it. We won't be sick, or we'll form a mob.
We could be like Norway, meaning totally white, homogeneous, and all rich. Do you want to reform healthcare? You dumb snitch. I love this show, even if no one else does. I love doing this every single day.
Do you have
even when we're
thoughts on
tired.
the new AAPA guidelines? Ariel wants to know.
The AAP, the American Association of Physician Assistants, what are the guidelines? Educate me. I was just at their conference. I didn't hear about new guidelines.
The only thing I learned at the conference is that the NCCPPPAAPPA
Right.
is a bunch of scam artists.
That was the general consensus of many on the floor, that maintenance of certification for PAs. Now look, let me say this. This comes up constantly in all circles. How do we actually make sure that people are staying sharp and are credentialed? Not just PAs and nurse practitioners, but doctors as well. And this is a controversial topic. So with nurse practitioners, physician collaboration and supervision. With PAs, the same thing, but also testing. With doctors, maintenance of certification testing. What does it all mean? Is it evidence-based? Does it improve outcomes? We have to study all of this, right? And I think when you study it, you find out truth, but you got to design the studies right. It's kind of hard to study. What you got, boys?
Lisa Wooden says, "Why are you trying not to swear? It sounds weird." Yeah, what the fuck, Z?
Whoa.
Tom can do it. I'm gonna try to play I'm gonna try to take the high ground now. You
The
know
fuck,
why?
motherfucker? What the fucking shit is this
Whoa.
fucking bullshit right here?
Take the high elephant, Z.
You shut your cursing mouth hole, Tom Heineber. By the way, as you were just doing that, Tom, there's this comment. Listen carefully now. My daughter just ran in here yelling, "Is that Frozen? Thanks, LOL."
Wow.
And then she hears a bunch of F-bombs.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Oh
Do
my
you want to build a
God.
fucking snowman?
Tom does not have kids. He has no idea how horrible it is when your little one starts flipping you the bird. It's really, really annoying when they watch TV and learn how to curse on cue. Do you want to reform healthcare? 'Cause I do.
I gave you some reverb, Z.
Yeah, you throw some reverb on me to cover up the pitch problems. That's good. Hey, hit me with a science. Science! Oh, what happened there?
Man, you're out of practice.
Man,
haven't
no,
been
you know
doing
what?
enough
I
sciences.
couldn't even get my science right because I just wrecked my voice yesterday doing the show. Let's do it again. Hit me, Logan.
Hit the button.
Science!
That was decent.
All right. Not the best, but it's okay. One F-bomb, please, says Whitney Price. All right. fudge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Tom is such a troll, LOL, Susan Robinson. Tom is a professional troll. He really is. It's what he does for a living. Let's see. They have to learn eventually. They're going to learn that day. They're going to learn that day.
Today.
Today. Jessica Evans. Sorry, I can't read that southern drawl. Disney should hire Z-Dog. Don't you know it, Frank Smoyer? Because I would totally get dressed up as Olaf and walk through the park. I'd be like, hi, my name's Z-Dog and I like warm hugs. And then I would melt. I would do whatever it is that frozen water does in summer. Let's read some more comments.
Okay, AAPA passed new guidelines that AMA is against on how to make the perfect PA practice, state leading the profession towards more of an independent practice model. That's Ariel's interpretation.
So in other words, this eternal tension, if I'm understanding correctly, between PAs and nurse practitioners and the like wanting independent practice and physicians pushing back and saying, no, it needs to be a collaborative supervision.
Dude, more than ever, I'm realizing this is such a major fucking issue. I get to swear. And like, I don't understand it. It really still doesn't make sense to me. You know, we had the whole controversy with PMG and that whole thing that happened because they thought you said something about nurse practitioners that you didn't say. And
Well, I think in that cast, I took a stance that was very unclear on whether nurse practitioners should have independent practice from physician oversight. And I'm going to tell you, honestly, I see it as it's a big controversy. And there are a lot of reasons why the AMA is right on this and that there should be continued physician collaboration with nurse practitioners and PAs. But the counter view actually has some validity as well, and there's some compelling arguments on both sides. But what I will say is that I am always an advocate of physicians collaborating directly with our brothers and sisters across the disciplines. And if that collaboration allows us both to learn and engage in better practice for the care of our patients, then we should encourage that in a collaborative way rather than this adversarial hierarchical way. And if we can make that happen, I'm going to advocate that. Now, the reason I don't take a firm stance, Tom, one way or the other on independent PA practice or independent nurse practitioner practice is that honestly, I'm not going to have that conversation without having an expert from each field with us and having the conversation together, because there are people who spend a lot of time and resources studying this and they're passionate about this. And so it would be irresponsible of me to say, hey guys, and I think this is why physicians are angry at me, because they want me to come out and be a voice for physicians and say, no, there really needs to be continued physician collaboration and supervision because there are scope of practice issues, et cetera. And there are nurse practitioners and PAs who are a little mad at me because I don't come out and support their independent practice. And this is why, guys, because it would be very irresponsible of me to do that without having experts on the show to debate it, and then people can make their decisions. So that's my take. It may sound like I'm copping out, maybe it is, but I just really want to get that right. I don't want to screw that up. And I think one of the criticisms of that show that was so controversial is that it seemed biased in the nurse practitioner's favor. Yeah. That's how some doctors interpret it. Now others messaged me and they were like, I don't even see what people are upset about because it seemed very balanced to me. So it depends on where your elephant is on that issue. You're going to kind of interpret it the way you're going to interpret it.
Nancy wants to know, where did the plant go? You want to know where the plant went, Nancy? Dear tenants, we have a plant that is missing from the main floor near the men's restroom. It's approximately 5 feet tall. See pic below. If anyone knows what happened with it, please put it back in our spot. All these plants in and around the office buildings require a paid crew and keep them maintained. Thank you. Please put it back. Kristen, assistant property manager.
We stole a plant. Because I didn't want to move my damn plant from home. It was already dying. Mrs. Dog was like, could we save our plant now that you're out of the house? And I'm like, maybe. So I didn't bring it. So we didn't have a plant. And then I was like, well, we need a plant. So I went into the lobby and I'm like, and put a plant right here. Well, it lasted about 2-3 shows. And then we got that email. And you should have seen me. I was like screaming like a child. Oh my God, Tom, they're onto us. Oh my God, Tom, we're going to go to jail. We stole this plant and they know it. And so
it was like, we got to put this We got to put the evidence back, Tom Heineberg, before they find this plant. Okay.
Literally, I was there like this with the plant. I put it out there, and then you know what I did? In a moment of authentic sincerity, it was a group email to the whole building. I responded directly to the person, and I said, my bad. We borrowed the plant for a video shoot and forgot to put it back. It's totally my fault. I'm very, very sorry. The plant is healthy and happy. It's back now. And the woman wrote back and she's like, oh, we figured something like that happened. And I was like, whew. Honesty, people, is always the best policy when you F up. Unless you're Tom, he just lies.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I caught your plant in the bathroom. It wasn't me. I saw my plant in your newsroom. It wasn't me. I saw it growing in the foyer. It wasn't me. You probably stole it on Friday. It wasn't me. Shorty called me and she caught me red-handed stealing the lobby plant. How could I expect that I would put it on the show or today? I don't even know.
There it is.
When I put it in, I use the Miracle Grow. Watering the plant and the leaves are yellow. Don't you know I put it back in the lobby ho? Ho? I didn't mean ho. It just rhymed. Anyways, on that note.
So good.
Guys.
Can we call it, Z? I got numbers.
Off the rails. Oh, you got numbers?
I got numbers.
Okay.
So 101 people for IncidentReport.live.
Those are my people.
3 people for IncidentReport.co.
3. Wildly unpopular.
And 48 people for IncidentReportLive.com. So
Incident
Live it is.
.live. Y'all, you did it, okay? I didn't think you were going to do it, but you did it. And now you get a special Doc Vader moment.
Don't be too proud of this idiotic domain that you've recovered. The power to draw SEO and search engine optimization is incomplete next to the power of my mask. West Side?
And with that, we're out, y'all.
Drop the mic. I hate you so much, Heineberg.
Go.